Yeah.
Way before.
Yeah. But to be stuck at like 155, like that was his weight class, and then there's no title.
Yeah. They were the two best guys in the world at that time, him and Josh Thompson.
Yeah. Josh Thompson's another one, doesn't get the credit he deserves. That's it. Boom. Like, what a slick move, man. But that was Eve. Very creative, you know?
Yeah. Man, Josh Thompson, like, peak Josh Thompson for me, what was it? Strike Force when him and Gilbert Melendez maybe were going back and forth. Didn't they have like
goodness. Yeah.
They might have had a trilogy. It might have been two or three fights, but every fight was amazing.
Gilbert Melendez, another guy doesn't get the credit he deserves.
Dude, legend. Legend, man.
Legend. All those guys, they were the groundbreakers. You know, a lot of these young kids coming up, you bring up Gilbert Melendez, they're like, who? Like, bro, you need to know your history. You need to know how this thing got started. Go watch.
Even more newer stuff, go watch him and Diego Sanchez.
Right?
Slug it out.
Diego Sanchez is another guy that I say is a tweener. Right? Because
welterweight.
Yeah, I mean, he really wasn't really a welterweight, and he, you know, and lightweight. I mean, he tried to get down to 45 for a while, but that was just brutal. He was killing himself getting down to 45. I remember seeing him making weight for 45. I'm like, oh, this ain't good.
This ain't gonna last long.
No.
Yeah.
But if, like, there was a 165-pound weight class, Diego Sanchez might have been the champion of the world.
Right. Honestly, man, like, when I was competing, if they had a 65, I might have entertained it. 70's just too big of a gap because I trained with 70s in the UFC, and I know they're 200-something pounds. And my heaviest, I was, like, 182, 183 maybe. They're just too big, man.
Well, you got guys like Rumble Johnson. When Rumble was alive.
Yeah.
Rumble got up to 230 pounds in between.
No, he was huge, man. Huge. Huge. I can't believe he made 170. He was living in South Florida, so I see him every now and then. He was huge.
This episode is brought to you by Uber Eats. March is here, and Uber Eats is delivering deals all month long. Each game day, score big savings on all the delicious food you need to turn your couch into center court and fuel your fandom. Whether you're ordering in or hosting the whole crew, Uber Eats is serving up deals on wings, burgers, pizza from your favorite restaurant, plus game day snacks from top stores. Bracket busted, still holding strong, Cinderella story, or top seed, however the madness unfolds, these deals keep it going all month long. Visit the Game Day Hub on Uber Eats for all the latest deals and start saving today.
He was the ultimate, like, weight cutter. Like, he cut more weight than anybody.
Yeah.
When he was fighting at 170, it was bananas. Like, how are you doing this? I remember running into him at a hotel. I was like, bro, how big are you? And he was laughing. He's like, I'm 230 right now.
And
I'm
muscle.
Like, jacked.
Yeah, muscle.
Like a heavyweight. And he went up to heavyweight. He beat Arlovsky.
Yep.
Which is crazy. He was a legit heavyweight.
Yeah. Dude, Andre's still fighting.
I know. And winning.
The bare knuckle champion.
Winning. He's the bare knuckle champion. Like, how durable is that motherfucker?
For the years and the miles that guy has, I have to say, like, taking shots, receiving damage, I don't know if he takes it like he doesn't take it like he used to, but his mobility and his movement for all the wars he's had and the years he's been fighting, when I watch him in the gym, dude, he's light on his feet, flexible.
Yeah.
He moves so well.
And enthusiasm. Still has enthusiasm for the game.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
He loves it.
He clearly loves it. I mean, he was, what, UFC heavyweight champion in 2005?
Yeah.
Was it like 2005?
2005 or 2006, I think he beat Tim Sylvia, maybe?
When he was the champ, first of all, that motherfucker had a piston for a right hand. Yeah. I remember when he KO'd Paul Buentello. Oh, my God.
That's a Texas guy.
Paul Buentello, another dude.
I believe he's from Galveston area or Corpus Christi or something. He's from Texas.
Well, if you think Arlovsky from 2005, and he was a top 10 heavyweight as recently as like 2023.
Well, when he came back to the UFC after that long gap, he went on a streak. He had a bunch of great fights. I think he knocked out Travis Brown.
Beat Travis Brown, which is crazy.
Did he fight Bigfoot? Did him and Bigfoot?
UFC 51 is when he won.
2005, February 5th, 2005. That is bananas, man. That really is bananas.
Man, back in the day, Tim Sylvia used to train at ATT. When I first got there, he was the most uncoordinated, unathletic guy. I couldn't believe he was a UFC champion, man.
I know. He was like
goofy.
Pigeon-toed.
But down to fight.
Oh, down to fight.
Down to fight. Yeah, for sure, pigeon-toed. His knees were
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, they went in. I tried to talk to a trainer about that, and he goes, that's learned. Like, you can correct that. I was like, are you
What, the knee?
sure?
The knee?
Yeah. The knees bowed in like that was, he said that's a learn, you could correct that. I was like, really? How do you, What?
I never heard of that.
Yeah, I didn't understand how
It seems like something they would do maybe when you're born, surgery, like reposition the bones or something, no?
Well, I don't know if it is. I don't know. I mean, I'd have to. I don't want to speak out of turn. I'd have to bring in that guy and have him explain to me how you could correct that.
Yeah.
But he's like, that's something that could be corrected. That's like learned behavior.
Huh.
It's just from being so big.
But dude, watching him with his toes pointed out, doing the ladder drills and stuff, you know, the ladders on the mat, in and out, like it was so crazy.
Big guys have their toes pointed out like that. Like Jelly Roll went from 500 pounds and he's in the low 200s now, which is crazy.
Yeah, I
That
saw
dude-
pictures of him. Looks completely different.
Bro, he's lost like 300 pounds, and he did it the right way.
Yeah.
No Ozempic, just like diet, exercise, runs all the time. But he has a problem when he walks, his toes are pointed out, and he's trying to correct it. He's trying to be aware of it.
Yeah.
When he runs the right way, like feet pointed forward.
You see it too on the bigger guys' shoes. The corners of the shoes are always flat, like flat tires on the
Yes,
outside.
yeah.
They just walk that way, man.
Well, you got to think you have so much weight. You gotta kind of stretch out to kind of balance yourself.
Yeah.
But I always point to Tim Sylvia when he knocked out Rico Rodriguez. That Tim Sylvia was a beast, dude. That was back when all the Mexican supplements were allowed. There was a lot of dudes who are very juicy.
Oh, yeah.
And Tim had giant traps and huge fucking shoulders. And
Yeah.
I remember he struggled to get down to 265 for that fight.
Yeah, back in the day with the juice was just free flowing, man.
Free
I just
flowing.
worked the UFC desk with Bisping in Vegas when Max and Charles fought, and we started talking about the same thing we're talking about now. And he was like, "Oh, I fought Vito. I fought them all in the height of TRT."
Right.
You know, he's fought a
That
bunch
was
of guys.
legal juice, which was bananas.
I mean,
That they
Alistair.
allowed oh yeah, that was the juiciest fight of all time.
Yeah.
Alistair versus Brock was the juiciest fight of
Yeah.
all time.
Yeah. I recently watched the Mark Hunt documentary, and he's trying to like push back and do a lawsuit against the UFC for all the juicing and stuff. But I mean, it's such a
Yeah, that's a tough road, because how much can the UFC do?
it's
I mean, I
it's
think-
on the athletic commission as well, right? Wouldn't the lawsuit be against the state, not the UFC?
I think his position is that the UFC knew that
But how would they know?
that Brock was juicing. I don't know.
This is before random drug tests, I believe.
Yes, it was before.
So I feel like that would fall on the state athletic commission.
Maybe it wasn't before, because he did get popped.
You know, but
But it
before
wasn't random. They weren't able to just show up in camp.
No, back in the day, you would get tested on fight night.
Right.
You know, they would knock at your door.
Well, it was super clear that Brock was doing something. It was super clear. Like, he was like in his late 30s.
Yeah.
He's built like a fucking, like the side of a barn.
I mean, there was a bunch of guys back then.
Yeah,
a bunch
man.
of guys.
Yeah.
But it wasn't it was okay. Everybody was doing it.
Well, it was and it wasn't, right? Because it was illegal, but it was like, when you have fight day drug tests, that's an intelligence test. That's all that is.
Right.
That's whether or not you have good people in your corner.
Right.
And whether or not you have a chemist.
It's going to take this amount of weeks to get out, or this many days to get out of your system.
Well, there were certain camps that would employ scientists. And these scientists.
The crooks are always going to be ahead, you know? Mm-hmm. They're always going to be coming up with something new, trying to stay ahead of the curve and get away with stuff. And I still think they're probably doing it, man.
Yeah. There's probably something that we don't know right now, and it's going to come out in the future. That's why they hold on to the drug tests for a prolonged period of time.
Yeah. They ask you your consent. You have to do an extra signature if you let them test it or use it for future.
What happens if you say no?
I don't know. I never said no. I always give it to them.
Well, it's good for you because you're clean.
Yeah, I competed my whole career clean, man. Nothing. I was even scared of certain creatine. Like, I got the trusted by sport on everything because I was so scared to be one of those guys. Because every time I see it, tainted supplement, yeah, sure, buddy. But, you know,
Right.
sure, tainted supplement. But it could be. You know, I don't want to be one of those guys.
Well, for sure there are tainted supplements. That's a real thing. And, you know, I know that for a fact because as one of the owners of On It, when we were doing third-party testing of some of our supplements, we would find stuff in there that's not supposed to be in there. And so we'd have to contact the distributor, the manufacturer, and the people that, like, mixed our stuff. So the way, like, On It would work is, like, Alpha Brain has a bunch of different ingredients that enhance your your mental focus and clarity, and we would give them the very specific numbers of what's supposed to be in each batch.
Yeah.
And then we would third-party test. We'd find a bunch of shit in there that's not supposed to be in there, and it's because if you're getting it done overseas, they have these vats where they mix all the stuff in, and they don't even clean the vats, man.
Right.
They dump it out, and then they dump the new stuff in there without cleaning it.
There's residue in there, and then also the level of drug testing, how high these things can sense anything.
Right.
Even if there's a tiny bit, they'll find it.
Right, with John Jones, right? It was picograms. We got introduced to the term picograms.
Pico, like a grain of salt in a swimming pool they can find. They say.
Yeah.
So the testing is legit, and I'm glad. We're fighting. We're kneeing each other in the face. If we were running track or something, I would.
Exactly.
But we're fighting. You can get seriously injured, man. So
Exactly.
I've always been against doping, but
Well-
I'm retired now, Joe. I'm retired now.
Now you can get to the roof. Yeah, I love when guys get. Well, Cowboy got real jacked too afterwards, but then he talked about coming back, and then he got off of everything.
That's the thing, though. Like always back in the day, all the TRT guys, like if you change your body's natural production of testosterone with exogenous testosterone, you have to be on it for the rest of your life.
Well, you don't have to, because there's things called HCG, and clomiphene can restart your body's production of testosterone.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Because I know your testicles will stop producing once
Exactly.
you introduce foreign testosterone, right?
Well, for a period of time, especially when you're a young man, you can restart it. But my production, I've been on TRT since I was like late 30s. Like, it's not coming back.
Yeah.
I'm shooting blanks. Pow. But
You're good.
But 2 of my daughters were born while I was on TRT. So it does work. I just had a limited amount. I had soldiers, just one fucking special ops guy at the front of the
Only one
line.
was marching.
But he got through.
Black Ops.
Yeah. So if you think about like all of the time where people were allowed to dope, it is a giant percentage of the history of MMA. Like Pride.
The further you go back, for sure.
For sure.
For sure.
Pride, it was juicy as juice.
Yeah.
Like Ensign Inoue, when he was on the podcast, told me that in the contract it said in all capital letters, we do not test for steroids.
We aren't looking.
They're
I've heard other people say that as well.
They're
We
like-
aren't looking.
Thumbs up, green light, let's
Yeah.
go.
Shoot up the juice. Come fight. We'll pay you cash. Get out of here.
They wanted you to juice. They wanted you to fight better, which is like, okay.
It becomes a spectacle, but man, people can get seriously injured.
You can, especially, but then also the thing is, like, does it make you more durable?
I
Like,
think it
can
does.
prevent you.
I think it does,
Yeah.
man, because just one that right off the top of my head, when Bigfoot Silva was TRT or whatever he was on,
Right.
he was so durable.
So durable.
Him and Mark Hunt had those crazy fights, but when he got
yeah.
off, he started getting knocked out.
Right.
You know?
But there's also the switch. There's something that happens when you've had a certain amount of concussions where that's a wrap.
Another guy that comes to mind. Remember Eric Silva?
Yes.
Welterweight was huge. Dude, whenever they started doing the USADA stuff, he was getting knocked out and just wasn't himself.
He didn't look the same. He
And
melted.
I wonder what the medical reason for that is, but I think it has something to do with confidence and like self-belief with the testosterone. I think that's a big part of it.
It's
I really
definitely a part of it, but also there's a part of it, your vitality. You're just more durable. I mean, when you're jacked up on testosterone, you're just more fucking durable.
Yeah.
Everything about you is more durable. Alistair's a great example of that.
Like animal mode, man. You're just
Yeah,
like,
man. Dude, I think Alistair Overeem, when he was Ubereem, I think that is the best argument for TRT ever.
looked like a superhero.
Bro, when he was in K1 and he was shelling up, how you getting through that? How you getting through that shell?
Remember how small he was though back in K1? He was like a 205 or
Well,
185.
no, in Pride.
Pride.
When he was fighting at light heavyweight. When Chuck
Yeah,
knocked him out.
yeah.
Liddell knocked him out when he was a legit light heavyweight, and he was skinny.
Yeah.
And
Young
then
and skinny.
he just decided, time to get big.
Here
yeah,
he goes.
look at him back then when he fought Shogun.
Still pretty jacked though.
Oh, yeah, man.
He's a
I mean,
big
he
dude.
was shredded. He was shredded, but he was a shredded light heavyweight. You know, I think he's a vegan now.
Dude, look at that.
Come on, son. Come on,
That's
son.
that's ribeyes. That ain't vegan right
Go
there.
back to that other one. That's what
Dude.
I'm talking about. I mean, that's what a UFC heavyweight champion's supposed to look like.
Hell yeah.
Come on, son. I mean,
Put that
also,
on the White House card.
not just that, but highly skilled.
For sure.
He wasn't just
sure.
jacked. He was highly. I mean, there's a K1 Grand Prix champion. I mean, that dude was the cream of the crop at kickboxing. He was the cream of the crop in MMA, and he even won the Abu Dhabi European trials as a pure grappler.
Yeah, people don't know about Alistair. His grappling is high level.
He had one of the best guillotines in the game. Like Alistair in his prime, when he went over and he fought Brett Cooper over in was it Burt Cooper? Who did he fucking fight in Strikeforce?